Hey everybody, this is Perch. And this is a bummer of a video that's about to progress because basically there's been some allegations. Now, with a lot of these things, sometimes they're legitimate, sometimes they're not. Sometimes, it's just a coincidence. Sometimes it's a homage, not homage. Sorry, some people bitch about the pronunciation. Sometimes it's an homage and it's not meant to be anything more than that. But sometimes it's actual plagiarizing. And this one hurts. I am a fan of Joëlle Jones, and I think that if you look at the new Yarfleur Wonder Girl comic and just the different things that Jones have done, they're very cool, very very stylistic. I've just enjoyed Jones's art. Puts a lot of effort into the page, and I think it's some pretty cool stuff. However, there's been some pretty what feels like pretty clear evidence that some of the art is directly swiped or traced from Pepe Larraz. And there's some images that have been put up. Here's a crazy thing: is they're recent. Current issues of the X-Men are incredibly, like, the poses are dead similar, to the point that it's hard to make an argument that this is, not what it looks like. It looks like tracing. There's been some promotional art for Trial of the Amazons. I know from talking to several people that, DC in their typical fashion didn't give a lot of notice for this, and there's been a lot of confusion about where it's coming from. So I think highly likely some of it was asked for in a hurry. However, this Joëlle Jones is incredibly talented, has a stellar reputation of her own right, and in many cases, a lot of people model their stuff off of her. Jones has been around for a decent amount of time, and I think since early 2000s, but was pretty instrumental in some of the Batman relaunch that happened. One of the relaunches that happened recently, the Catwoman series, Wonder Girl was part of Infinite Frontier, etc. And I did the video talking about how Wonder Girl was abruptly canceled, and it was a huge stumble for DC, where they had a character that seemed to have a lot of grassroots support. Made no real sense why this character be abandoned. The CW pilot obviously went away, so maybe that was part of it, but didn't really make a lot of sense. Now, to be clear, I'm not speculating there's more to this story, that Wonder Girl was canceled because that some of these allegations of tracing were coming up. No, I'm not even saying, I'm trying to separate the two. Just that was a blunder. And now we have this Trial of the Amazons promotional piece of art. Now, Trial of the Amazons, big Wonder Woman crossover, feels not DOA, but pretty close to it. DC's already moved on into marketing kind of more events in the future. There doesn't seem to be a lot of buzz on this one. Nubia, which is the book that led in to this. I mean, they're all crossing over, but you got Wonder Girl canceled. You have Nubia with pretty low sales, and Wonder Woman, it's out there. I mean, but the big, huge springboard that I think DC was expecting following Death Metal didn't really take place. We got a Wonder Woman Through the Afterlife storyline that, it was sold, but it didn't burn up the numbers. But anyway, it was first kind of recognized and thrown out on Twitter, where a couple of Joelle's shots look just remarkably similar. And when I say remarkably similar, just direct copies. The Polaris and Donna have the same facial expression, same body type, same pose, it's a direct copy. And then there's some other things where you've got a picture of Jean Grey and kind of her skirt, and it's, again, same exact shape, same body proportion. I mean, it's unfortunately, as I said, it could be a lot of instances where, this stuff doesn't exactly fit. Homage work happens all the time. People get referenced, but it's as dead on as you can. I mean, you could superimpose the two images and they are dead on, like not even not even to the point that it is impossible not to be a copy. Pretty nuts. So what do you make of this? You know, I think that plagiarism swiping is something that is pretty common in comics. It's happened a lot. Typically speaking, it's older artwork. People don't do it so obvious as to, swipe something that's currently on the stands to another book that's about to be on the stands. I think that's just bad judgment and foolish. I don't know. I've met a lot of different people who have a lot of different views on whether this is a big deal or not. I don't. I think it's pretty poor form. I guess is the best way. It sounds too high and mild. I'll drink my tea and say this is poor form, old chap. But I no, I don't think it's right. I think that yes, the industry is rife with a lot of tracing and copying and this kind of work. But that doesn't make it good. Just because it's happening everywhere doesn't mean that we should all accept it and that everything's fine with it. Still seems wrong, and this doesn't seem right. I think but I mean the hard part is Joëlle Jones, obviously a very good creator, very strong creator. Why? Why would this happen? Why would it not needed? Joëlle Jones has the talent to do this work. There's no reason to go leverage something from Pepe Larraz. It's a strange choice from a very top level creator. And unfortunately, this is going to open up the door for people now going through all of Joëlle Jones's work with a microscope to see, where other stuff may have come from. And that's a lousy thing to happen to somebody at Jones's quality. I don't know. I'm just disappointed. No, I don't think Joëlle Jones should be canceled. No, I don't think Jones should be run out of the industry. No, I don't think that this is, some horrible thing and has to be a stain on Jones's career. Obviously not. But it's an unforced error. It's something that just wasn't necessary, especially for something so throwaway as this Amazon's crossover promotional piece of art. I mean, who cares, honestly? And now this little footnote is going to be tagged to Joelle's career. And that's, Jones is a nice person, been somebody very pleasant to talk to and to work with and deal with. I think it's, anyway, it's disappointing this is happening. Overall, I think the industry needs to reckon with how it wants to handle tracing and swiping and homages and all these kinds of things, because it's a very loose spectrum. People will go hard at Rob Liefeld over it, but then they'll give they'll give other artists, a pass from time to time on it. There's been a bunch of artists that have been pulled into this, and sometimes it's like people don't seem to care, and sometimes they care a lot. And it's a very inconsistent standard. But that's kind of what's going on here. I had a couple people send me messages. Finally, just got one like, "Yeah, I should do a video on this." Of what's going on with Jones and Pepe Larraz and what's the story here. Well, there you go. There's the evidence in front of you. That's what happened. Certainly, I don't know if there's any way you could look at this and say it's a coincidence or it's an homage. I mean, it's a angle for angle copy. It just completely the same. So the biggest question I have is just why bother? Why do that? And for the love of God, why copy current work that's on the stands? It's like, I mean, it's not good, but I mean, you're just asking for people to put a spotlight on you because it's a mistake. But anyway, what do you think of it? What do you think of swiping? What do you think of tracing? What do you think of this kind of behavior? It's a complicated topic. Again, there's people who don't care. People care a lot. So the full spectrum. So I'm really curious to get the kind of to see the responses I get in the comment section. Let me know what you think of this activity. Good, bad, don't care, big deal, not a big deal. More so than what goes on with Jones, because that's a temporary topic. But overall, how should the industry look at this? Let me know your thoughts below, and thanks for listening.